I'm a little bit less ahead of the market prep than I would have liked.
We're just playing peek.
She's so cute. Oi! This week did not go to plan. I mean, look, argument to be made, it's a self-portrait. She's snoozing. My first YouTube video is going live at 1. Hello, it's another day. I'm very distracted in the studio today because we got a kitty. Oh, she's just plopped herself down at my feet. She is the sweetest thing in the whole entire world, and has been a very big distraction this last week. So I'm a little bit less ahead of the market prep than I would have liked, but truly I think it's all been worth it. Speaking of wonderful distractions, my mum was around this morning and she helped me do some stock take, which was really lovely, but naturally we got chatting and also weren't as productive as we probably could have been. But I think that's what life is all about. So it is currently 11:58, it's just about lunchtime. I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm gonna have some lunch, and then when I come back from that, I think I'm gonna work on these key rings because those are gonna be the most labor intensive part of this process, I believe, and I'll see how much progress I can make on that. This evening we've planned to play a game with some friends online called Sons of the Forest. We've been having a lot of fun with it. It's very spooky-ooky, but it's been a really good time. So while we're doing that, I might try to get some stuff printing so that it's ready to go for the rest of the week. Miss Ma'am, what are you doing? This is Miss Persephone. She's so cute. So yeah, we've got our game time booked in later today with our friends, which will be really fun. I'll try to get some printing done while we do that. I think it's going to be a good afternoon. I think the rest of this week I'm just going to need to try to use my time before and after work to really keep working on all of this. I haven't really made any progress on the key rings since last week, which, I mean, to be fair, I've had a good reason to be distracted, but I need to set aside some time in the evening to do the UV resin on those. But I guess before then, if I can just get as many made and ready for resin as possible, then I can do them all in a big batch and it'll be totally fine. She's so precious. Pose. I just posted my first YouTube video, which is so exciting. A little bit of videoception. It feels kind of crazy. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I'm just really proud of myself for putting myself out there and trying to like push through the cringe feeling of like, oh my god, I'm being vulnerable and putting myself on the internet, which is like scary, and I think that's a valid fear, but it's mostly just really exciting. Feels like the start of something really cool, and now I'm talking about posting my first video while I'm filming my next one. It's just a crazy moment that I wanted to document. Baby.
Sorry.
Where you going?
Sorry. Oh, maybe this is bad.
We f***ed up, we f***ed up, we f***ed up so bad.
I'm glad you said we.
Yeah, as if I had anything to do with it. Is there a reason we're coming up to the top of the mountain, or is this just for fun? Oh my god.
We're not out of the woods yet. We are now out of the woods.
I wouldn't say that.
We're almost at the peak. It's not that far.
We're just playing peek.
Yeah, we are. Peak with no stamina bar.
printer.
Wait. Oi. I love you so much. This is the only way she will leave the printer alone. You're so cute. You can't eat everything that I make. Welcome to possibly the jankiest Cricut setup of all time. I have my Cricut set up on what used to be a bedside table in this little corner of our office. It's not very glamorous, but it gets the job done and it means that I can have it plugged straight into my PC. I have tried doing the print then cut stickers from my Mac, but I had some issues with the print drivers, and quite frankly I fought with it for like a week and then decided that it wasn't worth it. So this works for me at the moment, but at some point I would like to get it looking a little bit nicer. But this is what we're working with for today. Last night was incredibly frustrating. I've actually been pretty lucky with the Cricut, where I feel like I've had to do some troubleshooting, but I haven't really had that many problems. But then last night it was just one thing after another, so it was a little bit frustrating. I was feeling a little bit defeated at the end of last night. Having said that though, we think we've got it sorted now. My plan this morning was to get back in there and take another look at it, but quite frankly I don't know if that's how I want to start my day. So I thought instead I'll sit here with my knitting and we could have a little chat. In my first studio vlog I kind of hit the ground running and I kind of forgot to introduce myself. I was so excited to just like get into all the things that I was doing. I didn't actually record anything about like why I'm here or why you're watching these videos, so I thought we could talk about that a little bit this morning. So my name is Michaela. I'm 28 years old. I live on the Gold Coast in Australia, and at the end of last year I was working in an office and realized that I had kind of tripped and stumbled into a life and a job that wasn't aligned with me, and it had gotten to the point where I felt it was actively taking something from me. I had sort of gotten beyond the point where I could just like suck it up and go in and get the paycheck and go home. And I think that perhaps that was a little bit self-inflicted, because throughout the last couple of years I really rekindled my love for creating, and I was reminded that there was a time in my life where I thought there was nothing else that I could do except to be in some sort of creative field, and that as I got older and I let more people's opinions influence me, I became afraid of being a starving artist, quote unquote, and like trying to do something creative and not being able to support myself. So I took the safe option. And I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're in that position right now, maybe it works for you a little better. I remember hearing a lot growing up, like, no one likes their job and, you know, you work so that you can have your hobbies on the side. But I just got to the point where I couldn't stand the thought of spending 8, 9, 10 hours, 5 days a week in a place that felt like it was sucking my soul out to come home and maybe have a couple of good hours of creating. I know this probably all sounds a bit dramatic and there's a lot of people that will roll their eyes, but it really got to a point where it was affecting my mental health, my physical health, that this was maybe exacerbated a little bit because last year I experienced a bit of loss. And I think in experiencing that loss, I sort of reflected on my life and where I've ended up and how I was spending my time. And I decided that I just needed to give it a go, imperfectly and messily and without a full plan, but I just needed to give it a try. At the beginning of this year, I quit my job. I quit my 9-to-5 job. I found some work part-time. So I am still working in a quote-unquote normal job, but only 3 days a week. So I have 2 whole days a week to try and make something of this. And it's terrifying, and I'm constantly questioning if I've made the right decision. But I think now that I'm recovering a little bit from the burnout that I was feeling, I'm feeling better about the decision. And on days like this, when I get to come and sit in this little bedroom that I call my studio, I'm really grateful for my past self for being brave enough to make that decision. Because it wasn't easy, and it's still not easy. And I'm so appreciative of my partner and how supportive he is. And I'm very grateful for our little kitty, even though she's being a total gremlin. So I guess the short version of the story is I fell back in love with making and creating. I had an existential crisis, and then I quit my job to give myself a little bit more time to make, and I'm very lucky to have been able to do that, and now I'm just trying to give it the best go that I can. Yeah, I suppose that's a little bit about who I am and why I'm here. I'm sure we'll get to know each other better as I do more of these. I'm just really excited to be here and to keep doing these videos. I'm having so much fun, I'm learning so much, and I hope that these just keep getting better and better as we go. I think I'm gonna take the morning off and just sit with my knitting and my coffee and take a bit of a break. I have my longest shift of the week today, so I think maybe I just need a bit more of a restorative morning, and then tomorrow I can get stuck back into all the bits that still need to be done and trying to fix the Cricut situation. I'm gonna be so real with you this morning. This week did not go to plan. We had so many tech issues. And like really, it wasn't like a catastrophic didn't go as planned, right? Like we got stuff done, just really not as much as I had hoped. But it kind of just felt like it was one thing after another. We already were off on the back foot because it was the Easter long weekend last weekend. So Monday was a public holiday. I didn't really intend to take the day off, but my partner had the day off work and he was home. And we kind of ended up just hanging out. And that's not really true because I edited my first YouTube video. However, I didn't get any sort of like studio work done that day. So I was already a day behind. Tuesday went fine, but it was full of distractions. And then Wednesday and Thursday both had some big tech issues that we had to deal with. On Wednesday, I tried a new blade in my Cricut. We just couldn't get it to calibrate. And the intention was to show my partner how to like print and load the stickers into the Cricut so that he could run some through so I could do some other stuff. We ended up spending like 3 hours cutting all the way through when it should have been kiss cutting, and it, no matter how we changed the pressure, it just wasn't working. And by the time we got it all working again, which by the way, we just put the original blade back in, still don't know what's going on with that new blade. It was bedtime and we had to go to bed. Anyway, Thursday night, I work a later shift. So he came home before me. We'd already fixed the Cricut situation, so he was able to get some sticker sheets done, which I'm very appreciative of. However, I got home from work. He was already, like once we'd eaten dinner and stuff, he was already going to bed. And I was like, I'm gonna stay up and do some more work because the market's coming up. We're already behind. I went into the office to get my camera, and our beautiful new kitten, Percy, she's the sweetest little bean in the whole world, but she had some zoomies, and she, before I could even react, ran through my legs into the office and into the back corner of the office where all of the cables come out of my computer, and I heard a buzzing sound and then the screens turned off. And immediately it was panic stations because I had taken footage off my camera and put it on the computer that hadn't been backed up to the cloud yet. I was like, oh my god, I'm just starting this whole YouTube thing and now my PC is going to be broken. What am I going to do? My wonderful partner got out of bed and had a look, and we think that we've got it fixed again. I haven't actually had a chance to take a look yet. So having said all that, this week just felt like a bit of a series of unfortunate events and certainly wasn't as productive as I would have hoped. But the things we did tick off the to-do list. Did the stock take on Monday, which was very important. So I have those numbers now, so I can decide how many more of each item that I have that I need to print. Even that feels like a bit of a vacuous concept at the moment because I've never done a market this big before, and I've never done a market over 2 days days before. So I truly have no idea how much stock I should be preparing. I'm just going based purely on vibes and the little bit of data that I collected at the last market I did. I also did get more work done on my shrink eating, so I got more coloured in, cut out, ready to go in the oven, which is great. I also got some of them resined, so that process is well and truly in progress. I think it is going to be a bit of a hustle to get everything shrunk and resined and built into keychains. But I'm feeling good. I feel like we can get it done. I also printed and prototyped the zine that I'll be doing for the fair, and we got all of the sticker sheets cut out for that. And I posted my first YouTube video this week, which feels kind of huge. So even though this week didn't go to plan, and even though there were some setbacks, and even though the schedule that I'd imagined in my head didn't come to fruition, I think that reflecting on the week and laying it all out like that and celebrating the wins really helps to put things in perspective. I got stuff done this week. Was it as much as I wanted to? No. But I'm trying really hard, especially in this early part of this journey to become a full-time artist, to be kind to myself and to manage my expectations. I still work a few days a week. I have other obligations. I have friends and I have an amazing partner. I live with my brother and we like hanging out. Like, there's other stuff happening in my life, and I think sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed trying to balance that all. But it's all part of the journey. And I have faith that this coming week, the week before the market, is going to be the big hustle. I used to do theatre when I was in school. I was a big musical theatre kid. And I feel like the week before a market kind of feels like tech week in a show, where like you're starting to put together like the lighting and the sound and the costumes, and you do your dress rehearsal, and then the market feels like the show. It's kind of cool to explore that feeling again. And you know what? I'm feeling ready for Tech Week. This week before the market is going to be a whirlwind, and I'm sure there will be more trials and tribulations, and I just can't wait to document it all and share it all with you. I am really, really grateful for all of the support that I had on my first video. I'm halfway to 100 subscribers already, which is just crazy. For every single one of you that has sat and watched this video, I just want you to know I appreciate you so much. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you like what you're seeing, maybe consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel. There will be more to come. I have so much planned for this year. This market is just the beginning, and I am so excited to keep documenting it all and sharing it with you. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one.